Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Unspoken Conversations podcast. You are tuning in with your co-host, D'Angelo.
Darrow.
And John.
And if you are just joining our conversation, this podcast was created to inspire individuals to address difficult or avoided conversations. Move it along. How y'all doing, fellas?
I'm doing all right tonight, bro.
What's up with it? What's up?
Good.
How you really feeling? How you
Y'all
feeling?
chill.
Nah, we really in chill. What you talking about? Out chill? We in the studio. What you talking about?
In the studio.
All right. Welcome to Unspoken Conversation podcast. This is episode 2.
Number 2.
And we're going to move along, baby. So the first topic we want to discuss today will be...
Drum roll.
Will and Jada.
Yes.
One of the hottest topics on
One of the hottest topics.
any type of mainstream social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything.
Oh man, I've been waiting on this one.
Now it's hot on Unspoken Conversation podcast.
It's the hottest now right there. Man.
I'm ready.
It's the hottest.
I'm ready.
Unspoken conversations. Will and Jada. Darrow, you been waiting on this.
Yes, I've been waiting on this.
Man, tell me what you thinking about this, man.
There's so many thoughts that's going through my head. First of all, what I want to do is I want to give Jada, a B.
A B?
A B. I'm giving her a grade of B. Cause
Why you giving a B?
A letter B?
a letter B. She getting a B for her efforts in the whole situation.
Because
if she was going to home, she would have got a B. I would have supported her through all this.
And so, how many years did you substitute? If you was a teacher, shit, I would love for you to be my teacher if you giving that a B.
B?
Come on now.
She gets a
We
B.
passed.
Come on, with flying colors.
Flag.
Easy.
Honor roll at it.
She passed.
Tell me why she passed.
What you talking about there, bro? What do you mean by that,
Because she
bro?
followed all the advice I would give to my homeboy. The best way to get over somebody, get under somebody else. Did she do that?
But
Yes, she did.
I mean,
The only thing the only thing that fell apart was, he kind of caught feelings and he kind of
he butt her right now, bro. Hey, y'all heard the track with Rick Ross?
Hey,
That entanglement
With
track?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about it.
I heard that for the first time yesterday. I was like, no. I'm like, Ricky Rose, why you do this, bro?
Ricky Rose.
But on the real, I feel sorry for Will. Like he going through a lot right now as a man, and it's your wife get smashed by another little nigga.
hey,
But the crazy part about it, I'm on the gospel scene, so pretty much, man, August went from smashing Jada one night to on the stage singing "You Know My Name" with Tasha Cobbs the next. I don't know if y'all saw the video.
Wow.
So I would say August is a little confused right about now. Okay, if you was Will, how would you feel? Tell me how you feel if you was Will.
I mean, I guess how any man would feel, angry, frustrated, embarrassed, ashamed,
Man, I've
all of that.
Man, he looked so hurt on that interview. that
man,
Red Taylor
of course.
talked about.
but why? I mean, why? To me, it's no surprise because at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure they had a discussion about this. But she probably did what I encourage the viewers to do the first episode, which is lie. You just lie.
Nah,
You lie.
Sit there,
You lie. You lied. You made it
You
work.
in this grade, Darrow. I don't agree, man. You giving Jada a B. I'm giving her
You
a
giving her a
big fat
pass.
goose egg.
Goosey.
She getting a big
was
fat
separated.
0. She
They
getting
were
an F on her
separated.
test.
They were
She
separated.
have terribly
They were
failed.
separated.
Man, but when it
She
comes down
failed
to what happened to the vows,
Exactly. Like, I mean,
separated or not, like y'all
see,
still together.
this is my view on it. You are in a marriage.
You went before God and a bunch
This
of other
is
people.
a vow. Like, I take that serious. I
got
take
to.
a marriage as something that is serious.
Very serious.
You know? And
Serious matter.
because, like I say, not only is that a vow between you and one other individual, another person, but it's a vow in front of God.
Exactly.
You know, so that's a step beyond. It's not just in a relationship. You know, you get in, you move on to another because you can do that because you're not with that commitment of you know, making that vow to marry someone. So you can do that in a relationship, but a marriage. Now check this out. I was late on knowing what what Will had done to Jada.
Oh wait, hold up! I hadn't heard this. What happened?
Did you hear about that?
I heard about the model was telling Will, like, "Hey, if you trying to get back, I got you." But what did he do?
What model?
It was some model on Instagram. She put it on Twitter. It was like, "Yeah, Will, if you trying to get back at Jada, I got you." I think it's the model. I don't know her name, but I heard that she's good for messing up relationships.
Oh, okay. So she trying to be a home wrecker. She said sign me up. She ready to break it down.
She was ready.
That ain't even cool.
She prepped.
That's not even
prepped
cool.
and prepared.
I mean, but at the end of the day, Will kind of did leave that door open when he was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to get you back. Ha 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 ha. Like toward the end of the video, he was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get you back.
Well, now see in the video after he said that, you know, they had a little chuckle, and you know,
Man,
they
that
kind of
whole
laugh it
uncomfortable-
out.
that
So
whole
that told me
uncomfortable
that Will had done something in the past that she accepts, you know, and accepts his mistake, and you know, they're moving on, but she can kind of hold it over his head, you know. But he said, I think he had already kind of did something that falls in the line of, you know,
somewhere up there.
yeah.
Oh no! But what you heard he did from the get go though?
I didn't per se hear what he did, but I heard
So
that
through
he
the
had
grapevine,
done something that he shouldn't have done.
I mean,
That was always slippery.
yeah. I mean, I feel like probably both of them did wrong. That's probably why they so accepting of each other.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I agree. I mean, to me, it goes back to what you were saying about, like, you know, this, everybody have a certain trigger and breaking point. You know what I'm saying? And to me, the breaking point happened, like 3 or 4 years ago when they separated and they was like, I'm through with you, it's over. And then that's what she did, You know what I'm saying? Like, after both of them sat down there and they felt like the marriage was over. And they both expressed it, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I really don't feel bad for them at all. Because, I mean...
But I don't know.
I disagree.
I'm gathering, from what I'm gathering, they was going through something, and they've separated to pretty much gather themselves personally. Now, do you take a separation from, you know, your perception? Do you take a separation where you was like, okay, let's just work on each other? Do you take that as an opportunity, like, okay, well, we working on each other. Let me go get under somebody else. Like,
Yes.
All right. I'm finna unplug your mic.
So,
I'm about to
here's my question. So, like, have y'all ever, like, been in a relationship where it's like, hey, we need a break?
Yeah.
So, like,
I
is
need
that
a break
a break
from listening
up?
to
Like,
you right now talking about
is that a
Jada.
break
But
up for you? To,
Why
like,
are you
kinda,
taking Jada's side right now? Because everything that you're saying sounds like you're taking Jada's side.
Why are you taking Will's side?
Because Will was done wrong and he didn't do anything wrong.
But how is Jada wrong if they was broken up?
Jada is wrong.
Okay, so you want to know why I gave Jada a B? This is why I gave Jada a B. The reason I gave her a B was because she made a permanent decision based on temporary emotion. Her permanent decision was smashing.
So why is that a passing grade?
All right.
That's why she got a B.
Okay,
because the decision she made.
Unplug his mic. Turn it off, man. Turn it off. Because you talking nonsense. You mean to tell me that two individuals, Will and Jada, are married? I don't care what Will did in his past. If they're married, you're in it through thick and thin.
Okay.
You're in it through rich or poor.
Plug yourself in this situation.
Better or worse.
You and your girl separate. Y'all still want to work on this marriage, but y'all trying to work on each other. So you giving her pass to go smash somebody? Exactly. It's different when they hit home.
It's not. I mean, like, if that's what she needs to do.
You saw that pause, huh?
She need to do. I mean, at the end
Sip
of the
tea
day,
with my pinky up.
At the end of the day, I just feel like you gonna do what you gonna want to do anyway. So at the end of the day, if she wanted to smash somebody, hey, look, just don't let me know about it. Look, lie to me.
No, not
let me know about it.
I'm gonna tell you what you're supposed to do.
Respect and not let you know about it. I'm doing it.
Cause Daryl, I'm gonna tell you what you're supposed to do.
What you supposed to do?
When you have a problem, when you married, You're supposed to go to that person, your spouse, and you talk about it.
What made you think they didn't talk about it?
You're supposed to communicate clearly.
They communicated, and they clearly communicated.
And you do the work after you do that. You do the work after you do that.
We do.
You don't just talk about it, you do the work. And there's no reason for Jada to step outside. I don't care. She put herself in that situation.
I'm gonna refer back to the vows right now. So when you married, like, you know, I hope to be there one day. But when you married, you know, you take the vows of for better or worse. So pretty much when it comes down to it, it's gonna be good times, it's gonna be bad. But just because it's bad, it don't mean like, well, let me go give me a little split on the side. Like, you know, it's for better or worse. During that hard time, it was the worst. But it don't mean, hey, let me go holler at August, you know. I understand there was a little emotional ties because, like, y'all genuinely helped. Like, honestly, as a man, if I was Will, I feel like the little dude stabbed me in the back. Like, we pretty much reach out to you trying to get you stable, and then you smashing my wife.
Hey,
Exactly.
be like that.
That's how people get shot.
Exactly.
Hey, be like that.
If Will would pulled out that bad boys move on him, then what now?
Man, y'all must, have y'all ever heard of the story of Otis Redding and Bobby Wallman, man? Like, hey, I mean, it's been worse case scenarios, baby. Like, Bobby was over there knocking down the Otis wife and the daughter, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it ain't like it's unheard of for like somebody just be out here doing wild shit.
All right,
But why do you give him a passing grade for doing that?
Why would
exactly. So this podcast,
She
Unspoken Conversations podcast, is to help others think about things and learn tools to help themselves. So what are you doing to help?
So this is my helpful advice to all listeners. This is my advice to y'all. Never make a permanent decision based on temporary emotion.
Okay, now
Period.
Now I'm confused because you're contradicting yourself. So now you're telling listeners not to make a permanent decision based on temporary emotion.
That's why she got to be, because she made a permanent decision based on temporary. Like, it would have been an A if she didn't make that permanent decision based on temporary emotion. Her temporary emotion was she was over here feeling hurt, that her marriage wasn't working out with Will, and she wanted to feel good. Like, that's what she said in the video. You know, like, I was down.
Okay.
We stopped talking. I wanted to feel good.
I'm gonna say this.
So for that temporary emotion of feeling good, what she wanted to do.
From an educational standpoint, since we went with the thing of getting the grades. So you pretty much gave her a passing grade for failing all of the objectives of the goal.
Exactly.
What was the goal?
You are fired.
What is the goal? You are separated. What is the goal?
The goal is
Mr. Hawkins, you are fired. We no longer need you here.
The goal. Okay, Daryl.
Because you are leading our students into the
They
ground.
sat down and they realized that the marriage wasn't gonna work. Like, in their head, like, they wasn't gonna see each other no more. Like, this is work. Like, this is coming out their mouth.
Let me break it down.
Forgot how to turn this mic off.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down. Let me break it down.
They wasn't worried about their marriage, so why y'all worried about the marriage? Like, she wasn't worried about it.
I'm just saying, let's break this down real quick. So the goal was never, and you just said this. So the goal was to never make a permanent decision. Don't make a permanent decision off a temporary emotion.
And so that's what she did. That's why she got the B.
So that's
got an A.
So that's the goal.
That's the goal.
So
but,
pretty
like, look, that's the game plan, like, for her. Like, apparently, because apparently the marriage wasn't working out. They was talking about being divorced. So during the midst of all this, she found her a little side piece, a little entanglement to get into, to help her feel better about the situation, which I get.
But look, the goal was do not make a permanent decision.
That's my goal for her. Like, that doesn't mean like that was her goal. All right. Her goal probably was to get laid, and she got an A for that, because she apparently, like, she was all in the sheets, according to the lyrics of the song.
But clearly, it sounded like he was whipped, because he the only one but hurt.
And that's his fault.
Jada has sound making it to sound all cool.
That ain't her fault.
And yeah, it was just a mistake. Like, no, you can't brush this over like
that was an educated decision.
Come on now.
But how many?
And the crazy thing is, Daryl, this is the crazy thing. I expected more from her. You know what I mean? I look at Jada and Will relationship
goals.
Yeah,
and
man. They are relationship goals.
And
No.
that was trying to give a having
Why?
expectations.
Why do I believe their relationship goes? Because they don't stick to, society norms. You know, man. They're comfortable with being who they are and communicating with each other and being honest and doing what's best for them. You know what I mean? And that's why people on the outside love Jada and Will,
And
because of the fact.
And it goes back to what I told y'all first episode. There's no such thing as complete honesty. Like it looked like they had this complete honesty.
And that's no. I feel like they are honest with each other. They were honest with each other.
Couldn't be
But
if this is such a big deal, because to me it's not a big deal. Like
the issue
is they married and like she did what she did. She went on Red Table. I got this little entanglement. They went on with August. I was feeling bad at the time. We smashed. Boom. How many scenarios?
I'm done with the conversation. I'm gonna let you have the floor then.
Thank you. Like how many dudes was in the same exact situation and all you do was like, hey, respect. I get it. I understand. Sometimes, So since it was Jada and it was a woman, like that's the big issue.
No, we not gender biased, but we looking at the art of it. Like if it was just a typical everyday relationship, like wrong is wrong. But when it comes down to marriage, that's a whole nother level.
But they were separating, planning on getting.
I know, but you sound like somebody I know. So what you're saying is really irritating me. It really is, cause that's nonsense.
To you, that's your
Jada
opinion.
was wrong.
And that's your opinion, and
She stepped outside of the marriage. She allowed herself to become comfortable with another man, regardless of the beginning intention of her trying to aid and help him. She allowed herself to be vulnerable, and she actually took advantage of August, I believe.
Yeah, because
she knew what type of emotional, condition and situation that he was in.
Man, last time I checked, it take two to have sex.
Man,
so apparently he was okay enough with it.
No, that makes you become vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
much she took advantage of him, like straight up.
Yeah, straight up.
So pretty much.
So
I'm gonna say this. So pretty much coming from a guy's perspective, Daryl. If you look at it, okay, if you know your girl, if you basically rub your tongue down her back, she ain't gonna be able to resist you. So when it comes down to it, just because she don't want to do something and you want to do something, you do the exact thing to basically get her in that mood. You taking advantage of her.
Yeah, manipulation. And that, and like I say, because of the woman that Jada is and Will is, and the dynamic of the individuals that I see them as, and that they have shown to this world, like I would expect 10 times more from her. And like I'm not giving her no exception to say, oh, I hear people on social media be like, oh, well, Will cheated. And then women get mad and angry and they respond and because they,
But that's you
angry
your
and they say,
on them, though. Like at the end of the day,
that's what they get. Man do this. When man do it, it's okay. But soon as a woman cheat, then it's a big old problem. Oh, and I'm like, wait a minute, y'all look. First off, y'all are looking at it totally wrong. Like their whole perspective is wrong. Like you shouldn't even look at it like that. Why are you talking about, okay, the man can't handle it, or she cheated? No, you need to be focused on what's right and what's wrong.
I don't care if Will did it. I don't understand what's so wrong about it if they were separated.
If Will did it, it wouldn't. Well, he did do it in the past, but we ain't talking about the past. We're on the future. We ain't gonna dwell on the past. We're gonna move to the future. But it doesn't matter just because it was a female and I'm a male. But I'm not being more harsher to her.
But I'm
as I would to him. Wrong is wrong and right is right.
Right.
Straight up.
And then I'm gonna wrap it up like this. I'm gonna say it just like this. Out of this negative situation, they still have the opportunity to mend a whole lot of other relationships and still become relationship goals by basically mending and overcoming this obstacle and showing other people within the world that, hey, even though you do go through stuff, you can overcome it. That's what a part of a partnership and the actual marriage is, And
you know what, Jer? I feel like that was the whole point for them having to even come to the red table.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Exactly.
Well, granted that Jada cheated, but and then people say cheated. She didn't cheat. That was on a break. Man, hold on now. You can't be on a break on a marriage. I don't think. Like, where is that in the cloud? Like,
I didn't see
that
that in the
must be
country.
something new in 2020.
To me, like, it's like you saying like that's what you expect and like this is how you feel. But at the end of the day,
I'm saying me because of right. I'm not saying personally from D'Angelo. I'm talking about as judgment of character from right or wrong.
from your moral standpoint.
From based off my experience and my
from
perspective.
your
Yes.
moral standpoint. At the end,
Perspective.
or your perspective.
Come on.
But
Talk
at
to
the
me
end
then.
of
What are
the
you
day-
trying to say?
At the end of the day, it's Will and Jada marriage. So
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like, how you feel like they could have did, like, she chose to do this that way because they were separated. So, you know, they were separated. She was hurt. She was going through this thing at the time. So she did this. Was it wrong to you? Maybe. To her, in hindsight.
Okay. Who are you
maybe
speaking
yes.
for? Do you think so? You pretty much saying so? Will is okay with it. That's what you pretty much saying. You saying, oh, my
Will
opinion,
okay. Yes.
my perspective
Yes, Will
don't
is
matter.
okay with it.
It's about
Yes, Will
what
is
they
okay
want.
with it,
So
'cause
you
he didn't
saying
divorce
Will
He didn't
actually?
divorce her.
Come
So
on now.
clearly he
Alright.
okay with it.
Alright.
Okay, so
All right,
here's
so
my
I'm gonna
question.
pause you and I'm gonna take your mic out.
Okay,
So
here's
this
my
is
question.
why
So here's my
Will.
question. So here's my question though. So before all this happened, apparently they was already like separated. They didn't want to talk. So what was so bad that they separate the first time for her to even get in this entanglement with August that it was so bad? Like, oh my God,
I'm gonna say right
Normal problems that
normal-
at the end of the
normal
day,
but at the end of the
relationships.
day, like right now, you found out that your wife cheated on you at that time. But
I'ma
you
go
still-
back to it.
But you're gonna sit down here and stay
It's
with her.
normal. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is, Darryl.
It's
Normal things that happen in a relationship or
and
marriage. That's what they were going through. And
Plain
you're
and
gonna
simple.
have problems in a relationship. You're gonna
Nothing's
have
gonna be
problems
perfect.
in a marriage. You're gonna have your ups. You're gonna have your downs. You're gonna have the times where you just happy to see each other.
You
And
have
the
times
time
you don't
that
wanna
you
see
don't
each
want to see them. You know.
So.
But that's a part of trial and error. That's a part of learning each other. You know. It don't matter how long how their relationship is. They still have to learn each other.
Exactly.
They still have to inquire those things to get to know and challenge each other. Like, so, you know, it doesn't matter what was going on to make her think to go out. We can't provide no answer to that. It could have been anything. But the bottom line is that whatever it was, she was supposed to handle that with her husband, which is Will Smith. And not
Apparently,
that's what I was saying.
apparently,
So- what you saying is
apparently to me,
silly.
they took those steps, and those steps weren't working for them. So therefore, that's when the separation came about. Therefore, the whole entanglement. And
okay. I
then
feel what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like they.
So like at the end of the day, like yes, it was a relationship issue, and they did try to work through it. Then like they said, you know, at that point, at that time in their relationship, they couldn't stand each other. So, it was like at that point, I didn't know I was gonna talk to you again after that because like I was through with you.
Gotcha.
They put emphasis on that. Like I was through with you.
Now,
Period.
Now,
So at the end of the,
The
day,
video
if somebody
said, and I
look at you,
quote,
if somebody look at you saying they through with you or like they felt like they was through with you, of course you gonna sit down and be like, you know what?
So,
Gotta pick myself.
but it's cool. You know, we go stop it right there, guys. We go take a break and pay some bills. We'll be right back with Unspoken Conversations podcast, baby.
hey, what are you doing? Get up off that couch. Why haven't you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Hey, it's COVID-19. You have nowhere to go. It's simple. All you have to do is go to YouTube and click like and subscribe. What are you waiting for? Yo. Welcome back to Unspoken Conversations podcast. We had to pay a little bills, and we're back with the topics of conversation. I'm glad we kind of took a break because Darryl was kind of pressing my nerve of how he was cheerleading for Jada. But
Roll Tide, by the way.
I'm back. I had to woosah. No word to Will Smith. Word to Martin and Will Smith, rather. Well, moving along. Second topic is marriage and society and the norms. You know, what do you think about marriage? You know, what's your view on marriage? What's your perspective on marriage? Do you think marriage is cool? Do you think it's something that you have to do? Do you think you can make it without being married? What are y'all views, fellas?
I feel marriage is a necessity, but you have to be picky. It's plenty of, should I say, forerunners that basically are proven to show that, hey, you just can't marriage off looks. You need the marriage off of person's personality and their overall goal. You can't be stuck on appearance, because when it comes down to it, you might end up out of luck. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, like I'm all for marriage, but I'm looking for someone that I can actually build with. You know, someone that I can actually create generational wealth with. You know, I can't basically just focus on the right now. You have to focus on the future. So, I don't know. What's your perspectives on that?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, as I say, I take marriage as something serious. You know,
it's definitely serious.
So. You know, I feel like, you know, marriage is something that I inspire to achieve, but I understand that you don't necessarily have to get married, you know, to live a fulfilling and happy life.
True.
You know, I know a lot of us in society, you know, we want to jump into a relationship, you know, want to do that so we can hurry up and get a ring and get married, but we really not ready for the steps of marriage, you know, but. Yeah, man, marriage, I do, you know, inspire me, man, to be that husband, to be that positive, you know,
role
example,
model, you know,
that positive role model and a great example for the black man.
Because
you know?
the black community, well, I can speak from us, the male black community, and even the entire black community needs that positive marriage and, you know, that positive male and female influence in their life so they can see, you know.
Exactly, both, you know. Male and female. That's the key. Fathers and the mother.
So Daryl, what you feel about marriages, bro?
Oh man, I understand them and I respect them, but you know, I just feel like, you know, they not for everybody. If it happens, it happens. Don't, you know, I don't want to like trying to force it.
I got you. So what's something in a marriage that you would expect? Since, you know, in the last one you say everybody lies. So if y'all hadn't checked that out, go back and check our last episode out.
Make sure y'all tune in to the last.
Daryl says
the first
everybody
episode.
Lies. So
man, everybody lies. Man. There's no such thing as being honest in a relationship, no matter how many years you've been together.
So I got you. So when it comes down to that, what's your expectations of marriage?
Oh man, to be honest, I really don't have expectations.
No expectations at all.
Because I just want us to be happy. Like, I guess it's expectation for us to be happy. You know what I'm saying? Like a relationship or marriage is about me and you. So I guess instead of me saying no expectation, my expectation is like for us to be happy and for us to work and build our family. You know, our own traditions. You know, get out of society norms.
Oh, okay. So he want to get all serious and mushy and get all like in society norms and
yes.
And this, but you saying you encouraging everybody to do what Jada do.
Be for Jada.
I said that if you gonna do it, do it. Like I don't have any issue with her doing.
Okay.
Let me be very clear.
Contradicting.
Let me be very clear. Because I expect it doesn't mean it's my reality. Like, cause I just expect if you're gonna be with somebody for life, you know what I'm saying, that they make you happy at the very least. That's the very least, you know, of any type of relationship. I mean, you don't have a friend that's just always negative and you hate being around them.
We do have friends that's like this sometimes. We do have one.
but not all.
I ain't gonna pour no elbows.
We always have that one
Man.
Negative Nancy.
Shots fired.
Boom.
So yeah, Daryl pretty much just want to be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to be happy.
I mean, yeah, it's nothing wrong with being happy, but you know, even when it comes down to it, you have to look at his relationship. If you want to be happy, you got to also make your partner happy too. It can't
But you
be a
also
one-sided thing.
Right, and then you also gotta be happy like within yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't expect, happiness from another person, you know what I'm saying? If you're not happy like with where you're at in life, or I mean, of course, like you have that helpmate to like help you get to certain points. But at the same time though, like you also have to have like happiness within yourself, you know what I'm saying?
True. Because if you can't identify it to yourself, how are you going to identify it to another person?
That's why
in another person.
That's why like a lot of relationship, and it's the crazy thing. I don't understand it that a lot of beautiful black women or just beautiful women in general have like low self-esteem and like they're super hard on themselves. So when it comes down to it, they us as guys, unfortunately, we tend to look for visuals, so pretty much we go off of appearance. So when we do get in these marriages, we're pretty much dealing with a broken person that's not happy. So pretty much they're not happy with themselves, so we're trying to make them happy and we become miserable. Give you something to think about.
That's a way to think about it. But John, let me question you, why do you think those women that you believe have low self-esteem, why do you believe they have low self-esteem?
I mean, it could be based off of various things. It could be based off of upbringings. It could be based off of, unfortunately, events that happen, traumatic events. It could be based off of just pretty much when it comes down to verbal abuse from parents and previous partners,
So it could be the background, your influence, your environment you live in, the people that are around you. And it could have been the experience of, I'm just going to go ahead and keep it all 1,000 with it. Keep it all the way 100 and say that us men are the very reason why women have low self-esteem.
Could be. It could.
I think this is why. They're not could or should.
Give me your background on it.
Facts why
give me your
most
background on
women have low self-esteem.
So why do you feel that way? Tell me why.
I feel that way because it's the truth. The evidence shows that a lot of us men, tend to look at women, in the idea of, receiving something from them, not trying to help them, not actually caring for them, not trying to make them grow or push them so they can motivate you and push yourself to do things, but to just be a squirrel and get a nut.
It's true sometimes.
And I believe that's straight up because that in turns make us not appreciate the value of a woman.
Okay.
And which makes a woman, that's a struggle because think about it like this. We men, we don't walk like this every day. We walk totally different. I want y'all to kind of put y'all self in a woman's shoes for just a couple minutes. We're gonna take a stroll, right?
Okay.
So say for instance, a woman wake up, come out here, she do everything she need to do. She gotta wake up extra early to get her hair done, right? She get in the mirror, do her thing to get ready for work. She get to work, she step out the house. She's on her way, she get out her car to get some gas, and she got a guy whistling at her.
Cat call.
Meow. Hey little mama, hey shawty, let me holler at you. She got to shake him out. She go to the job. She got that coworker or that colleague being a little sweet on her, being a little too close, talking in her ear a little too much. Or you could have that boss, that male boss that's like, okay, yeah.
If you want this raise,
you think you want this raise? You said you want this position. What can you do for me? So I think it's not a thing. I know. Well, it's my opinion. So I'm going to speak on that. I feel like us men are the real reason why women have, most women, not all women now, I'm not saying, we got some queens out there that still, at the stages of fixing them stuff and they're not broken.
Mm-hmm.
But,
So I'm gonna bring it back around. So pretty much, not advocating. I totally agree with you on that point. But I also want to take it a step further. So pretty much, you're telling me that men are the cause for women's low self-esteem, partial causes. Okay. So when it comes down to the men, what are the causes for their low self-esteem?
Okay, all right. See,
so because now
that brings me to my next topic, though. Just as you just hear me out, and then you ask me a question, I feel like the question is kind of, has some offensiveness, to the question. Because I was taking the side of the female, I feel like now you are asking the question to kind of try to vouch for the male.
Oh no! When it comes down to
when it comes down
to, I'm just looking at the facts because, of course, they have this saying that hurt people. So we saying, we have men with low self-esteem. So what do? They badger and beat women down. But then you have the same women that's beating women down. They beat men down. So
we're not gonna get into a match. We're not gonna get into a battle where we point fingers. And that's exactly what we, as male and females, have to understand.
Yeah,
that we don't need to point fingers.
No,
we don't need to get into a battle.
We need to build each other up.
Saying what one of the person isn't doing.
No, exactly.
Yet we should speak on what we can do to help each other learn what they can do to help us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Dwell on the positive and not on the negative. Yes, men are hurt and women are hurt. But when you're addressing the issue, you got to address it for the particular issue that it is, and not for the whole, the broad issue. You know what I mean?
But when you do address that issue, sometimes you do have to get down to the surging issue or the foundation issue. That pretty much,
But the foundation issue comes from.
But that's a personal thing,
The man and the woman being at a mature state where they can communicate and address those things.
Communication, that's key right there.
Unspoken conversations.
Most
people don't talk about those conversations.
Exactly.
And they avoid it because they don't know how to speak on it. They don't want to step on nobody's toes. They don't want to hurt anyone.
They don't know how to detach personal emotion from it.
They don't know if that's going to make them run away. They don't know if they're going to leave them single or what. So I understand, but from my experience, I feel like the best way possible is just to be honest. Take a deep breath and be honest in the situation. Therefore, you don't have to worry about
all the other stuff.
Coming back and doing something different. You already did it the first time.
Exactly.
And that person is clear and they understand, and then you can do what you want to do to try to make it work.
All right, I got a question for Mr. No Honesty is Possible. What's your perception of this?
Hey, man. What would make people happy? Look, man, I don't know what make you happy. So
but that's where communication comes in.
You just said something. You don't know what makes them happy. That's why you have to do your homework and find out.
You have to study your partner.
You have to find out.
Okay.
No matter how happy you try to make somebody, if they still not happy with themselves, you gonna fail miserably. Period.
Agreed.
So I guess you want to learn your partner. It's cool. You learn, you study, but at the end of the day, hopefully what this Will and Jada thing showed us, with time, certain needs change, certain things change. Communication, the way the communication.
I was just about to say that.
Everything changes, with the need of the person. That's why I sit down there and say you can't sit down there and make a permanent decision based on temporary emotion. You love this dress, but this is the dress, you love it, but you can only have it and wear it for certain occasions or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, once you wear the dress, you have no need for the dress no more. So what you gonna do with it?
Well, yeah.
And that's basically like with anything else. You know what I'm saying? Once you have it and you use it for what you wanted it for, what's the use for it now?
So where you going with this?
I think what Darrow is trying to say, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking he's saying you never stop learning your partner because pretty much
Or yourself.
Yourself
you
because
never learn your partner. Like your need, like everything changes. Like
exactly as time goes on, we all mature, we all change. We're forever changing creatures. So the thing is, what I needed 3 years ago, I might not need it today.
exactly.
Right.
So that's the thing. Like, so that's what you were saying, Darrow?
I should have fit in better words, but yeah.
Okay, cool. We're on the same page.
Yeah, because I kind of got lost. Honestly, I really did get
like
lost.
I should have.
I mean, it's all right. I understood. I understood. You
I
know,
should have done the jump before, but you know,
It's all good. It happened.
just your interpretation. Holla at
Yeah,
me.
take it to your interpretation, but like, yeah, you know, like, I mean,
But yeah, y'all, I actually think that this is an awesome thing. I am glad that this have came to light, you know, where
to
Will and
fruition.
Jada have chosen to come to the table and address it. It's sad that they had
To
to
do it.
address it because, you know, people were saying so many things.
But
and,
think
you
about all the people you can help.
Right. But, you know, that was the point of them coming to the table because this creates an image to let people know and let the world know that you don't have to have a marriage that's based on what society says, you know? You can have whatever works with you and that person, you and your spouse. And whatever y'all can figure out, whatever what works, that's what should work with your marriage. And that moves along to our next topic. Our next topic is, should you compare
No. A relationship.
your relationship
No.
to another relationship?
Okay, relationships are just like a social security number. Everybody's is different and unique. There's no two same social security numbers. There's no two same marriages or relationships. So therefore, you cannot handle different relationships or different marriages as the same. Also, when it comes down to it, comparison kills. If I'm pretty much trying to amp up my relationship to be what yours is, I'm gonna kill myself because it's gonna be unrealistic. I never achieve that because, of course, your genetic makeup and the genetic makeup of your relationship or your marriage is much different than what I got going on over here. So,
Right. So it's like people try to take things out of people try to take things that work for someone else and use it for themselves.
yeah, you can't do that.
And that don't fit. That's kind of like putting a Android charger in an iPhone. You know what I mean? It's not gonna fit. Both of them is a charger, but it's not gonna fit that. You know, so you have to find your plug. You gotta find out your charge. You gotta find out what works for you, and not compare it to somebody else. Now you can learn from others.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. You could take, put the little melting pot, just
if
take,
it's something that's
this.
working for them,
Right.
and you see that's working, you want to try it, try it out and it's working for you, but if you try it and it don't work, then you need to move on.
Trying it, don't work. So yeah, it's like a melting pot. Like pretty much, you can look at other relationships. You shouldn't compare yourself, but you can learn from other relationships. So let's just say, okay, let's look at Will and Jada. Let's look at what's another relationship we got. We got Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle. Let's take a little piece out of that, and you put it all in the pot, and you mix it together, and you get your own specific ingredient, your own specific recipe for your own relationship. So therefore, it's not like you basically copying their exact relationship because theirs is different, theirs is different. You're making your own, So you got to do that. You can't just basically like, okay, I'm gonna do just like, I look up to, D Wade and Gab. Like that was my girl. I did give them to her, but that was my girl since Love and Basketball. But when it comes down to it, you can't, even though I love the aspect of their relationship, but I know I can't base my relationship solely off of how they do that.
Right. And that's where people make their mistake. They try to use what others have for their relationship. Mm-hmm. They try to mimic someone else and try to make their relationship work like that.
No.
And that's where you're wrong. That's where you make the mistake.
Big mistakes at that. So when it comes down to it, what would you say is a relationship, or I would say a norm that pretty much we compare from most relationships that that won't probably work for ours. So let's just say like the Will and Jada situation. For a while, I heard they had an open relationship. That's away from the norm of society.
Totally.
But when it comes down to it, that works for them. At whatever point they were in, that was what works for them.
But why? The question is, why did it work for them?
Because it was their own genetic.
Exactly. It worked for them because they did their homework for each other, and they, suggested those things, and they were willing to try to do it. You got to be willing to do the work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To see if you're capable
of doing it. Just like, even when it comes down to that aspect of an open relationship, me personally, I know that wouldn't work for me. Like, no, I don't want my woman talking to nobody else but me. Like, that wouldn't work for me.
That's, yeah.
Like,
I don't think I don't.
So like, that works for them, but I know that won't work for me. So,
Right.
Not my woman.
No, not mine.
No sir, no ma'am.
It's gonna be some furniture moving real quick. So
that's our territory. We're each other's territory.
Exactly. And you have to be like that sometimes. And when it comes down to it, like, of course, no shots at the people with the open relationships because, I respect it. Like, but when it comes down to me, it's just like, I feel like it's a territorial thing. Like even it's both ways. I'm yours and you're mine. Like, we got to look out for each other. I don't want nobody doing this. I don't want nobody doing this because pretty much we're one and we should take that, that approach, but that's just my specific relationship genetic makeup, Everybody's different. So we gonna take a break right here. We gonna pay some more bills and we'll be back.
Hey, so y'all looking at my shirt. Like what you see? Go to www.prepperpointdesk.com for this and more.
Welcome back to Unspoken Conversations Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We back from paying our bills. Moving along. Before the break, we were discussing our opinion on why do we believe that women are more prone to accept less in relationships. Mm-hmm. Okay? But we never spoke on why are guys the totally opposite of it. Because most women will accept, being cheated on and return to a relationship, or being mistreated and continue to stay in a relationship. And on the flip side of that, let a guy get cheated on. I don't know too many that's just gonna say, oh yeah, I'm about to take her back. Why is that? Well, first off, I'm gonna say I can see both parts because I'm in a situation where I've been the one to take the woman back, but I can say that was just out of true love, and that was honest. Right, but majority as a whole, when it comes down to it, I think you have to look at the ratio. A man already knows what the ratio is. It's like 15 or 20 women to one guy. So pretty much, I don't have to deal with this from you because I can just go get the next one. You know what? And that's fact. That's a valid point right there. If you think about it, there are more women in the world than men. Exactly. So as I was making the example earlier, as if the woman walking to a car, she getting hollered at by a guy. That's because there are a whole bunch of guys, and the way social media is and the news and society is wrapped up, sex sells. So we are conditioned to see sex, and majority of us act on our urges, our sexual urges when we see something that we attracted to, and try to go holler at it without any thought, So I get what you're saying, Jen. Men have, a greater pool of, women to choose from versus women having smaller pool of men to choose from, a good men to choose from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because when you put the filters
to be
on there,
exact.
it's gonna shrink.
Exactly. You know, so I can see why men are more prone to not care, because they can just jump out of one car and go into the other, you know?
Because 9 times out of 10, the car is already waiting on you, and out of respect, you just like, no, I'm in this car, you know. But if this car started giving me problems, I'm gonna hop in the next car.
Right. Even if I did have a loan and I was still paying on it, I can neglect that and go on, jump in this other car and be riding, you know?
Exactly.
So I get it. I get it. That's why I feel like men, you know, are more prone to not accept it, and women feel like that they have to accept more because they have a very small pool of men. You know what? That actually reminded me.
Then when the clock starts ticking too, so it's like, okay, I need a man, you know, such right now.
Yep, their biological clock get to ticking, and then they started accepting stuff that they don't need to accept, and they're like, oh well, I might not find nobody else that might be as halfway decent as him, and I ain't say good. I said halfway decent as him, and they actually believe, you know, and it hurts me though.
It does.
Honestly, it hurts me that, you know, that our queens, our women, you know, are inclined to accept that type of perspective and mentality, you know, because they repeatedly, you know, every day have to go through and distinguish between a good guy and a bad guy. You know?
And they shouldn't have to go through that, like, you know.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's a messed up situation, but that's the truth of it.
From a king to a queen, you know. We're sorry for you, ladies, but this is our job, and this is our mission to encourage other black men to do better. And the ones that are on the right track, we gotta encourage others, you know what I mean? We gotta stay on the right track, and we gotta kind of grab some that we can reach and kind of get them aboard to do the same thing. Because, man, it's 2020, man. COVID-19, all this stuff. If you hadn't woke up from, you know, your slumber of confusion, then I don't know what's gonna wake you up. I don't know what type of alarm.
It's slapping you in the face right now.
If you're not woke now, you need to wake up. You behind. You know what I mean? Because the world, you got to look at the big picture. You know, a lot of these, I feel like a lot of norms and things that we were accepting in the past. This is the birth of new. You know what I mean? It's the time for creative spirits and new adventures and breaking away from old habits and building new ones. You know?
You can't be stuck in the same thing. You gotta look, even when it comes down to, like you said, COVID. Like, you gotta approach everything as new. Like, this is a new norm. You gotta get away from those old toxic habits. Like, you know, you gotta approach things.
Don't watch the news too much. I mean, stay alert, stay informed, stay aware, but you know, don't get brainwashed where you just so afraid and in fear, you know, to live and breathe every day. You know,
Exactly.
so you got to be happy. Less stress, baby.
Less stress. But women, do you? Don't accept anything.
Less than what you are.
You know your worth.
Know your worth. Love yourself.
Know your worth.
When you look in that mirror, I'm talking about loving yourself. Really looking at yourself in that mirror, you know, loving the skin that you're in.
Right.
And for all you suckers out there that just taking advantage of people and manipulating these queens out here, you know what? I'm gonna save it.
Yeah, say
I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna let God do the work for y'all.
Yeah,
suckers.
exactly. They already know what it is.
Suckers. I don't know, man. For real though, man. That be making me furious sometimes, you know, man. And I know sometimes I have my cape on, you know what I mean? Try to save.
Sometimes you gotta take the cape off.
But you know,
don't want me to say
in every situation now, you can't save them. You know what I mean? You can't save them all now, but you know, honestly, in you know, seriousness though, you know, when I try to, when I can't help it, I try to do as much as I can to do so.
And that's our duty.
It's to speak up for what's not right,
Exactly.
and discontinue something that's wrong. You know what I mean?
That's
And have the balls to speak up
the generational changes,
and
bro.
stand on it. You know what I mean?
Because you gotta look, we are role models.
Exactly.
Even though we might not be able to change our personal peers, we got a whole generation that's looking up to us. So if they see
No
us,
doubt.
hey, yeah, they treating them like this, they treating them like this. Especially like you gotta look at the generation we came up with, man. We came up with the good love music, you know what I'm saying? We was writing in the groove, you know. We was taught, you know, the songs taught us to love the women.
Right.
Now it's just straight disrespect.
Right.
So
There's no love. There's no
there's
R&B. Where R&B isn't dead people, but
it's
people are more inclined not to,
Trap.
be locked into R&B,
Yeah.
like the trap rappers and all these ABC rappers,
rappers,
and stuff.
mumble rappers.
You know what I mean?
So when it comes down to, we were taught to love. So with the generation not getting that same opportunity, we have to step in to teach them how to love. Got to.
The good got to suffer for the bad,
We got to.
We got to take up on that weight, and make a new payment.
You got to. You got to make a new payment. Man, I know I personally took a step. I was going through some things, so for me it serves as a refresher to me, but it also served to get my message out. When I did my latest EP, Back to Love, man.
Oh yeah.
I had to speak on basically getting over those obstacles, basically getting back to actually loving the person, not disrespecting the person. Yeah, you're gonna go through your obstacles, but love, at the end of the day, love is gonna stand.
Right, and you gotta try not to channel that negative
Energy
towards that person.
Exactly.
You gotta deal with it internally, with yourself, within yourself, on your own time, so that you can be whole, with that person.
Exactly.
Fact. All right, world. We would like to thank everybody for tuning in to Unspoken Conversation Podcast. As always, we thank you for your support, and we hope that you can join us on our next conversation. Peace.